Buddies, I wanted to take a look at how to use Photoshop to wrap an object around, say, a box. For example, give it some perspective using the perspective warp. Okay, so we've got an image here, a logo, and behind it, a box. And I want to make this wrap around the box so it looks like part of the image. Okay, so what I'm going to do first, before I do any kind of transformations, I'm going to make this layer, go to layer, and make it into a smart object. Okay, which works better for when you're doing things like resizing and stuff, because it makes a source image and references that, so it doesn't keep rewriting the image. Alright, so now I'm going to go to edit and choose perspective warp. Okay, and what I need to do first is layout. So in layout mode here, so I'm going to take this section. Okay, I'm just going to draw roughly around it and get the edge of the box here. This is where I want it to curve. Okay, so I've got that. That looks fine. And then another section is this section. So I'm going to draw around this, and when I link them together, you get this like grey line. That's where our division's going to be. So I'll let go, and now we've got two boxes. So now I'm going to go to the warp tool. So at the top left, layout, go to warp. Okay, now I can start to move these corners around. Okay, so I can kind of square them up with the box. Alright, so we've kind of warped this image, so I'll click the tick. Okay, but the problem is it still looks kind of flat, even though it's warped around the corners here, because this side should be darker. If you look on the box, this is in shadow, this is brighter. So how do we do that? So I'm going to use an adjustment layer. I'm going to use just exposure here. Alright, now if I take the exposure down, it just takes the exposure down for the whole image. So I'll just undo that. But if I click on this little icon here, you see the little box with an arrow pointing downwards, it's just going to take the adjustment layer and apply it to the beans layer. So now when I take the exposure down, there we go, it just takes it down for the whole of this layer. So what I now need to do is I'm just going to use a rectangular marquee tool and just draw around this section of the box. And I'm going to go to select and mask. Okay, so I may feather that a little, just a little bit, soften those edges slightly. Should do it. Okay. Just get a little bit of fall off around this corner. And I'm going to output to layer mask. Okay, so I hit OK. There we go, OK. And what that's done is now, alright, I can just take the exposure down for this corner of the box. Okay, so now this side is in shadow and it creates a much more 3D effect. So that's how simple use of the perspective warp tool, a great tool in Photoshop. Thanks for watching, buddies.